week 7 for the Fab Academy review. We have 2 students plus Digiscope that is connected with Roman. So good morning, everybody. I'm gonna start sharing the screen as usual. Here we go. So I'm gonna start with Thomas.
Okay.
Thomas.
Okay, so good morning. This week was quite long for me. I spent a lot of hours on Rhino trying to design my my project. So I put this little image to represent the pain I went through. I had some headaches, and I had some interesting problems as well that I will talk about later. But first of all, the idea was to build a shelving system for my apartment. I have a staircase in my apartment, so I wanted to build some shelves to put under the staircase. So you can see the picture here. So it was quite ambitious, I think, but I wanted to try it anyway. So first of all, what I did is I tried to reproduce in 3D, to model in 3D more or less the room and how the staircase is put, so that I had the right visualization. And so I took some as precise as I could some measurements, and then I tried to think of how could my shelving system look like. So I did a few tries, a few researches, and I discussed it a lot with Saverio because I was not sure how to do it correctly, and I also had a problem with the amount of material that we have, because of course it's a really big thing, so I couldn't just do an assembly of boards, because it would be too big and I wouldn't have enough wood to build it. So I had to think a lot about it. And finally, I decided that it would be better to make something that could be modular. So like boxes, then you can put on top of each other, and then when I moved to another apartment, I could reuse the thing. So this is the final idea. So it's a bit like tables that you can stack together. They are proportional and they are stackable too. So yeah, that's all the steps I went through. And then of course I had to think of the joints I will use. So I did two different kinds of joints. The first one we can see is actually, it's a pocket, so it's used to stack the boxes together. The second one is for the legs, and the third one, which is the half dove joint, it's I took it from the examples that Saverio gave us, it's a really nice database.
Which one is for the leg?
The green one, this
legs,
one.
This one?
No, okay. Sorry, the yellow one is for the legs.
Okay.
The green one is actually for the arms, so it's like to make a counterventment to the legs. I don't know the word in English, but to give stability, I have those arms that are perpendicular to the legs. And so this is from the database that Saverio gave us, which is really useful, because there's all these nice wood joint examples, and directly with the DXF files. And so I spent a lot of time adding the joints.
Wait, this one?
Yes. There are like 50 different joints.
Can you elaborate what you have here?
It's a database of 50 different kinds of joints that you can use for woodworking. So they are classified by type of joints, like corners or crossings or frames or board joints or something like that. So it's really, there's a lot of things, a lot of examples, and which is good is that you can directly download the DXF files. So you can use them directly on your design. So it's quite
nice.
useful. And I wanted to try one of those, so I took this one. Then I spent a lot of times adding the joints in my design, and I used blocks in Rhino to do so, to make them parametric if I needed. But I took I decided to choose no tolerance for my joints. So the female and the male ones are exactly the same size. I discussed it with Clément at WOMA, who is working a lot on the CNC machine, and he told me that he doesn't use any tolerance normally. So I chose to follow his advice. And
now it was.
I don't know yet. I will explain. But the fabrication, so it was the quickest. The quickest part was to parameter the VCarve file. I saved my DXF with only 3 layers, the layers from the cut, the inside cut, one for the outside cut, and one for the pockets. So when I created the VCarve, it was quite fast because I already had the layers in the file. And the milling bit we used was a 6mm one. It was already parametered in VCarve, so it was there was nothing to change on these settings. So I just changed the cut length, the cut depth, sorry, and the settings for the material itself, but not for the cutting bit. So I made 3 different toolpaths. Again, one for the pockets, the first one, then one for the...
Why you did 3 toolpaths?
One for the pockets, one for the inside cuts. So basically it's the joints for my legs, and one for the outside cuts to cut the pieces, the different parts. And then I created the file and began the cutting.
Yes.
And everything went fine until there was a big problem, and there was a little fire starting on the board. I honestly I don't exactly know what happened. I was not in the room when it happened because I was taking a break, and it was someone else who was
also down. Thomas, probably the height also of the. Do you have the earphones? Someone has it.
Sorry.
Okay, so I was saying that probably the height of the milling bit was wrong.
Okay.
Touching the base. At least that's how it started with me. There was a part of my of the machine that was touching the panel, and it was creating a friction that at the end became a fire.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Happened, and I was there. I saw it. So now I don't know if this. In any case, tell me, what's the damage? I see a lot of things here that happen. What is this?
This is the bed of the machine, so it just burned a little, so I had to scratch it to make it flat again. Apart from that, the board was destroyed, and the sacrificial layer as well. So we had to redo the sacrificial layer. So it took a lot of time to clean it because we thought it was because the the dust aspiration was too full, so we actually took the time to empty it completely, to clean it all, to clean all the room, because there was a lot of dust, and then to make it flat again, to make another sacrificial layer. And so it took like 1 or 2 hours, and so I could begin the job again. And I have to give a special thank you to Guillaume, who let me redo my cut instead of this place. So thanks a lot, Guillaume. And so the second time it went okay. I just had to pause the cut for a while because the board was beginning to move a little. The vacuum was not working very well because there was a lot of cut parts, so I had to put a couple of screws in the board to make it really stable. And then it went okay. The only thing is when I did the second cut, when I redid the vCarve file, I think I forgot to put some tabs on some parts, and so there was some parts that were moving, so they did not cut really well. But I didn't have time to do the assembly yet. Sorry?
Did you use the nails in order to stick the panel properly on top of the base?
No, that's what I was saying. First, I only used the vacuum aspiration of the machine.
That's not enough.
It's really stable first, but when it's all cut, it begins to move. So I had to pause the cut and put some screws.
May I?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Go. Yeah.
I ask a question. If you don't put tabs with all the small parts, the body of the board isn't stuck by the vacuum. If you put tabs, it's a whole big part, and so it remains stuck by the vacuum. So not putting tabs when you've got a lot of small pieces like that will never help sticking the board on the machine, because it makes a lot of small parts that aren't aspired well. Was that understandable?
No, sorry, not because of you, but because of the connection. So you suggest not to put nails when you have the small.
No, I
understood correctly.
To put tabs, small little bridges that connected the parts to the board. So the board remain one piece stuck to the vacuum table, instead of having a lot of small parts that aren't stuck well, and so the board moves.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, to just to.
Did you did it in your assignment? You did like this, Guillaume?
I didn't cut yet, but on my vCarve, yeah, I did prepare some tabs.
Nice, perfect. Go, Thomas.
Yeah, just to say that in my vCarve, the first time I redid it, I forgot to uncheck the use offset box, and so it didn't work. So I redid the vCarve, and I think I recalculated all the toolpaths, and I think it's at this step that some of the tabs were not taken into account. So it might be something like that, because the first time I put all the tabs on the file. So yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Romain, go on. You wanted to add something?
Comment on this? No, I don't need to. I don't want to add anything. In any case, I understand your pain, but to be honest, it's probably the machine that is my dream machine, the milling machine. You can actually do a lot of stuff with it. A comment on the? No, I have something to add on the design. This for sure. I see. I like it. Reminds me some job that we did last year. I want to show you. Yeah. We also use a modular system with pieces that were milled, but in 3 dimension. Was not a stair, but yeah, it was a modular system that was controlled by. I'm sure that I already showed you this part. But I see that you were working on something similar. We did everything in Grasshopper. You see, more or less, you see that there is a modularity, no?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the pieces, and we are calculating all the number of the joins, the tube, no, for parts. So once I will be there, I would like to tell you also how to calculate something like this parametrically. We just did. You know, we never actually change it. You see, this is the final result.
Nice.
This one.
Okay.
This one. Then.
Question about parametrical design.
Tell me.
The class for Grasshopper or not?
Sorry?
We have another Grasshopper class.
Yeah. I would like there. In any case, even more than one. Once I'm there, you know, let's have a little workshop. Parallel. So this also part of the. This is at the end we will discuss about this this thing. I guess between the week and the break, we can have some days for just to focus on Grasshopper and parametric design. You know, if we have a gap for we can use it for the parametric tools that you didn't saw a lot. If I show you, if I teach you how to do that, Aggie, absolutely useful even for you. Now, imagine that we cut all these pieces directly from the code, and we didn't have any of number of pieces, length, dimensions, was everything correct. And we had 1,000 square meters to cover, so it was a. Okay, apart from this, I appreciate the effort. I don't see the stair, but probably it's me. I mean, I see an overuse of my media, which probably is still not so convincing. No? I mean, you have horizontal planes of each other, which doesn't make sense. At least if you want to use them, what is it? It's a bookcase. Are you going to use it as a bookcase or?
Yeah, no, it's
from a chair.
storage. It's a storage system that I would put under stairs.
Ah, okay, perfect. So it's gonna be the stairs and then the storage system underneath.
Exactly.
Oh, I lost this part. Okay, but so never mind. I like it. Here I'm not so convinced that this is a funny leg. Probably here you can have all the panels falling down if this joint is not enough to keep them straight. You know, in the center. A big dimension, a big light, how you say, a big span. So those can follow quite easily.
Okay.
Just an impression, and I don't understand why this is not connected. Those vertical panels. Probably here I would have put a leg. Saverio?
Yeah, it's because all those like the first level, second, third, and fourth level, you can move them. They are not. I mean, they're in place just because of the pockets. But then you can remove them and put them in other position, as I understand, right? So you don't. I mean, you only have little pockets in the surface, yeah, where your mouse is. And then maybe you want to put the little box that's on the third level, you can put it on the first level, blah, blah, blah. So to have it modular.
Yeah, that's what the idea.
And also we are talking about 70 centimeters, and it's like I mean the board is resistant enough not to bend, I think, in such a small length.
Yeah, but it's not only the bend. The problem is that it's one after the other. You know, it's four
Only
panels
like this.
bending. You know, in this case, the problem is that if this one, the first one, is bending, bending twice as much, and it's also taking here exactly in this point, depending from the other. So you have a force compression here, but on the panels, I don't believe that this joint
We
can
did.
keep it in place.
I think that why it's done like this is because on the left and on the right on the left you have the wall, and on the right you have the stair. So like ideally you don't have any forces from the sides, and so he put the contravention only on from the front.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about force. Talking about forces from the top. In any case, we will see once it's built. We will check if it's working. I doubt.
Okay.
That is a good combination.
I have a last question because I didn't have time really to talk about it at the lab, but at the end of my of the job, a lot of parts are not really like clean. There's a lot of sanding to do everywhere on the parts, and I was wondering if it was normal or if something didn't work out well.
I think it's normal because of the cheap plywood. So it's okay like this because the plywood is very soft, and so you have this kind of these problems on the grain. I would not use the sandpaper for it, but just go with a cutter, with a small cutter. The one that we use, like the retractable one. Okay. So go with it on the sides and just cut all these parts that are these grains. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. A comment from you, Guillermo?
Yes.
A comment also from you, since you are the expert in the milling.
Third milling bit, like not that sharp after a few millings, maybe, and by adjusting cutting depth and stuff like that, you can have better result.
And maybe adjusting the speed as well?
Yeah, what I mean by cutting depth is the ratio between advancement and cutting depth. They're a bit hardcore, I find, at Roma.
Yeah, but in the end, with a cheap plywood, when the wood is very soft, you can adjust whatever you want, but in the end, you just have this result. So it was something we already knew. It's because of the cheap plywood. When you use nice plywood and it's very hard, it takes longer to cut, it's more difficult to cut, but it cuts very well.
Okay. Because from what I saw on Frédéric's pictures or on Roman's results, it was quite clean in comparison of mine. So it would have been nice to talk about it with them to see how they saw the thing.
I guess it's a milling bit who after haircut was less sharp.
Okay. Probably. I mean, we should see also what was the setting that Roman used. Okay. Go to Digiscope and then we go back to Guillermo. Roman, buenos días.
What's up?
How are you?
So today and Monday we were and we are at FabLab Descartes because here there is a shop box.
Okay, nice.
So only one student has cut something until now. So someone else is going to cut today, and we're going to keep cutting. So we mainly use vCarve, like everyone else, it seems. We use the Shopbot Buddy standard, and we've been playing with the plays mainly. There is a small furniture here that Vincent made, and that's where we are for now. So, would you need us to share like something else about settings and stuff?
Well, probably you guys prepare the page. Did someone prepare a page for today?
Yes, look at Vincent. Vincent Dupuis. There's something on his page. He's not here, but his page is.
Well, if you want, you can comment on it. I see that they went to OpenDesk. They use.
Yeah, exactly. I recommended that website because it's pretty interesting to make open source furnitures, and I encourage the students to post their furnitures on this website later if they have something that is worth it. So Vincent likes to work with OpenSCAD because he's more on the code side of the world. And so he wanted to make a small shelf, and so we came Monday morning, and we've spent like the entire day working on that, and that was a first for him and Christian actually. And since we don't have the machine at the Fab Lab, we have to move, like I said, so we're gonna spend more days doing that. So on the web page, you can see that he's talking about OpenSCAD. You can keep going if you want, Aldo. And you see a few pictures of the Fab Lab Descartes. So Fab Lab Descartes is at the same time on the University of Marne-la-Vallée, and the Fab Lab manager here just joined us as a student for Fab Academy. He's going to take the course this year, and next year he's going to take modules all along the 2 years. So I will introduce you to him later.
Nice.
This is their buddy. Yeah, that's interesting. So like all our students are at Fab Labs right now. It's really interesting to work with them too. So you can keep going down a little bit. So they obviously work with vCarve, like I said, and Vincent and myself, after a small introduction again on the buddy, started to work together. We didn't break anything. We've been playing with tabs and plays, like I said, and we managed at the end of the day we had something working with the right plays. So we had to increase the size of the file of like 1% to obtain the plays that we needed, just to make a press fit construction, and that worked. We used a 6mm bit. Mainly, it was a downcut we've used with a poplar sheet of 10mm. Then what else? I don't think we've applied any special parameters on that job. Mm-hmm. What I'm mainly asking to Vincent and the other students is to document anything they can touch. So you can see that he's put pictures, because he didn't have the lead on the computer. I was like showing him how to make it work. And that's it. So this morning, Andreas is going to cut.
It's a very good documentation. I like it.
Yeah, I think he understood like what is documentation. At the beginning, it was kind of saying, "Okay, if you want me to document everything, this is boring." But he finally understood that next year, if he makes Fab Academy at Jussieu University, he's gonna need this page. See what I mean?
No, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
So we've been playing with dog bones, different types. dog bones to make it press fit. I think that's more or less it. Like no special thing that has not been documented on this page for now. But we still have.
There is really a lot of information. There are a lot of information here.
Yep. I want to introduce you to Mathieu. Our new student. Mathieu, s'il te plaît. So here he is. Like he has a beard too.
I am ready.
So this is Aldo, who makes the regional review.
Okay.
He's in Barcelona right now, and these are our fellows from WOMA. And Saverio, where are you?
He's there. He's there.
I'm in Paris.
In Paris too. Okay. So he's not far. And Thomas.
Okay.
And so he runs Fab Lab Descartes. I'll let you introduce yourself if you have something to say.
We communicate with Aldo many times. With mail. On mail.
See? Okay.
At the beginning of Fab Academy, because it was difficult for me to convince my my director for Fab Academy, but now it's okay. I can do it, and I do it with FabLab Digiscope.
Good, good. And they told me that Roman told me that some weeks, some specific assignments. Which one?
Yeah, on 2 years. It's going to take. We're still evaluating which class he's going to take, but he's going to make electronic. He has a background. We're going to try to focus on a few things that are easy for him now, or maybe some of them will be a little bit more difficult, and then he's going to make the others next year. Because he's like me, he's running the place by himself, so it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, time. Okay. Okay. In any case, I also introduced. I also introduced Guillaume, the Fab Lab manager in WOMA. Okay, they will meet for sure in the next assignments. Okay.
There's someone.
Thank you, Roman. Now I'm gonna move now to Guillaume. So
Wait.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Page. Ciao, Guillaume.
Oh.
Allora.
So it's
One
not
second. Let me share the screen and then you can start.
It's better now. I can hear. What did you say?
Talking.
yet yet.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah, there's some documentation. No, week 7.
Oh, sorry.
Big things.
No, sorry. It's not this.
Yeah. Okay, so basically what I tried to share on that was a methodology for designing a 3D piece with assembly by going from 3D to 2D with the method I use. The table I want to make is not cut yet, but I tried to explain how I start from a volume. At the beginning, you've got the volume of the table, and then by drawing in 2D different faces and different assembly, and by extruding them, how I get all my joints at the end by doing Boolean operations, and how the 3D helps you verify your design. So you've got the design, the final design later, because at the beginning I started with a very simple one, and Saverio and I discussed. And so, as usual, when you design something, it went completely different. So here you see, wait, here.
Sorry.
You see the just before, one before. That, okay, I've got my 3D, and I take it from the front side, and I draw half the part with the joint, as you can see in yellow. You maybe can see the half wood joint, where there's a mouse, just half, and then I make a mirror to have the whole part and checking it's symmetrical. And so I've got my polyline with my assembly that I join. And to do that, in Rhino, you must use a planar and the project command. So your drawing is flat. And after I took this drawing and I did an array to make all the joints, all the transversal pieces on the bottom. And after you extrude them, both sides, and when you extrude them both sides, you make a Boolean operation to get all your joints drawn at one time. Okay, so basically that's the design, and after I tried to add a little fun, but I didn't push the idea far enough, I guess. I did make a surface that I changed with nodes, and I broke all my extrusions to keep only one phase because it's 2D machining. And as you can see in the final design, you've got a small wavy thing at the bottom. Maybe I should have done it also on the major structure to have something more coherent, but 1 week to make a design that you think and rethink is very short, I guess. And so that's the final design with chamfers on the top and chamfers on the corner. So the chamfer on the corner, as we saw with Saverio, will not work that well. But I don't know, I went too fast or something like that. And I show how you make the joints, like for them to, the press fit joints for them to work, and the execution plan, and I'm gonna cut that. I did a small nesting because I needed to save some wood. So I did put some parts inside some parts and everything. And I'll do the VCarve as soon as possible and cut it and check how it works and put a photograph if it works. And maybe make a small model with the laser cut before to check everything's okay. Which I did, and it didn't work.
The final
design is that.
So this is the final design. Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. And once only, in that way, I mean, there is a specific reason I didn't, or just a design intention to do this undulate.
Sorry.
I mean, is there any?
It was more like just to, since we've got a CNC machine, not to make 20 times the same piece of wood, but to make everything different was interesting. But in terms of design, I think it's a bit superficial and not that is the main idea of the tape. But I don't know, it was fun. Exercise.
No, it's not a critic. Just to
I agree.
If
it's not like
it was a specific.
Far enough the whole piece.
Okay. Bye-bye.
The whole piece should have been maybe a bit like there should have been a response somewhere. I don't know. I could have pushed it a bit further.
It was just a question in terms of you know, why you're.
Because
you're exploring. You're just exploring the, I guess, the capabilities.
Exactly.
No, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
How much time do you think this is gonna take? Because there is no setup for the machine. This is all the design part, and now
it's like 2-hour cuts.
Milling and
it's like 2-hour cuts, but there are 3 different tools. So I think it's going to be 2.5 hours because of the tool changing and things like that. But it's something like 2 hours, and I've got only 1 lip 6mm bit. Sorry. So since it's only 1 lip, that's why it's a bit long, because it's going slower.
Okay.
Better 2 lips, you can 1 hour, half 1 hour.
Vale. Perfect. Okay.
Wanted to catch
Okay.
this morning, but maintenance at Roma.
When are you going to mill? Sorry, I couldn't understand.
I wanted to mill this morning, but since we are doing some maintenance on the machine, I think by the end of the week, maybe Friday.
Okay, va bene. Nice.
The morning is perfect.
Nice, nice. Perfect, Guillo. Thank you. I mean, mine is very accurate and specific. Keep the same methodology for the setting for all the
Okay.
and then for the milling. And also, as usual, please in the upper part, and this is from now on, I want a little card that you are using with the link,
with my file.
Provide the file. Okay, so this is for all the previous weeks as well. It's missing in areas.
I was hoping that the Grasshopper would let me implement all the missing parts I have because, like, I took a lot. I was very late on the electronic weeks because of the coordination. I didn't know. Like, for me, ordering electronic part has been hell.
Yeah. Okay. In any case, those are details. Those are things that you can even add on the run in the last minute. But it's better that we start immediately to add them.
Catching up step by step.
And also, please, Guillaume, also please check the sizes. All the same, eh? Week 3 and week 6, the same size.
Okay.
Okay. Those are.
And I've got to make some
things.
My final project. And
okay. Tell me. What's new in the?
No. The final project remains the same. The personal project is not that much developed in the website, so I'll try to make it clearer what I expect to do.
Okay. Good. Not bad. The others are not participating, but Saverio, do you want to add some comments just to close the
I saw the. I mean, I didn't saw with my eyes the work that they did, but I saw the pages from Roman and I saw the results of Frederic, and I found they were pretty good. We have Mathieu here, but he's trying to connect to the Wi-Fi, but he can't connect.
Ciao a tutti.
No, Mathieu arrived. Ciao, Mathieu.
Yeah, it's here. And
good, perfect.
Okay, for me, I mean, I think it was a good week, even with all the problems. There were, I mean, the problems were active problems. I don't know, like catching fire or problems with the wood grain. I mean, they were not problem because of, I don't know, we didn't have the wood. It was a problem because we tried to do something and there were mistakes, and this is the good thing to do. So I'm pretty happy with this week.
Exactly. Are you going back to Italy?
This afternoon.
Okay, good. We will miss you there in Paris for sure.
I'll come back in a month.
Leave it in the hands of Mathieu, in Mathieu's hands. Okay, good guys. So close the call. Okay. I'll say hi to Mathieu from my side, and we keep talking on Slack. Thank you for to join as well, and Romain, and see you next week for the last connection before the break.
Remember today is 1 hour earlier. It's at 2, not at 5, not at 3.
Okay. So we have the
instructor meeting is at 1:30.
Okay. And it's confirmed that the week for the machine design is postponed. Okay. Bye to everyone.